Hey everybody, how's it going? Got something very different for you today. I am intentionally trying to make this track sound as bad as possible. I'm going for that early 90s black metal sound. Now, as you guys know, I am not a black metal guy. I don't think many of you guys are black metal guys. You know what? Loudstack's got a new pack out. Let's have some fun. You know what I mean? Not everything has to be super serious all the time. And I had a blast making this, guys. So I've got a very short mix here, trying to be as cult as I can possibly be. Here we go. So yeah, it sounds absolutely atrocious. On purpose. Unbalanced. Everything's distorted. There's hardly any clarity whatsoever. And that is the point. So this is the antithesis of what I usually go for. Usually I'm going for, you know, well, a modern metal mix. Or maybe like a 90s thing, but that's usually what I'm going for. So older black metal from the 90s, you know, it probably doesn't sound as bad as this, but old black metal was a reaction to death metal at the time. Death metal was getting like super clean, super technical, kind of getting away from, you know, the evil of what it was supposed to be or whatever. So the black metal guys were like, right, we're going to be super non-technical. Everything's going to sound terrible. And fuck you, basically. You know, we're going to make music that sounds like shit. And we're gonna gatekeep and fuck you guys. That kind of vibe, which is, you know, very punk rock, to be quite honest. So what am I using here? I've got NAMM Universal. So these tones are NAMM files. Primo NAMM files. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Ron makes some pretty incredible stuff. Ron is all about the authenticity. So we've got a Marshall amp. Cult, I don't know exactly what this is, but he made impulse responses as well for the pack, and I've got the true Blue Marvel. Now the Blue Marvel is a cheap PV speaker. Some of these speakers just sound absolutely terrible, and that's what he was going for. EQ, I probably should have just done no EQ and just let it like fizz and sizzle away, but you know, old habits die hard. So not as terrible as possible. I'm still mixing the way I mix slightly. Yeah, and then I've got PV Bandit, you know, all solid state stuff, and then the True Sheffield. I am blended in with IR number 1, which I guess was an oversight, but it still sounds terrible, so I just kind of stuck with it. Again, same EQ. Yep, guys, same stuff on the bus usually, and it was like really bad around here. Originally, I was going to make this track sound kind of like epic and kind of cool sounding, and I thought, no, let's just make it sound as bad as possible, but I just left these EQ moves in. Yeah, you've seen all this stuff before. Strings. I wanted it to sound like someone's mashing, you know, a cheap, silly keyboard. So I've got the strings long, the velocities all the way up on these. And I wanted the strings to sound like really horrible. So I've got Barrier here. Barrier is a free Kit Plugins plugin. It's basically like a saturator. You can go from like subtle saturation to, you know, full on broken horrible, which is how I've got it set here. High cut, low cut. For like lo-fi stuff, you can link the output so you get like gain compensation. So you crank barrier here, yeah, and the output goes down. which is a cool feature. I like it when plugins do this, you know, for stuff like this. Yeah, so the guitars, yeah, they just sound terrible. And the main thing is I wanted this to be completely mono, so everything is up the middle, which is a trait of bad mixes. So here are the guitars. So as you can hear, guys, absolute turd, which is what I was going for. The strings, again, they're pretty turd. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's pretty hard to make labs sound bad. You know, Spitfire labs, fantastic. If you don't know about labs, guys, completely free VST instruments. Yeah, they kick ass. Right, the vocals. Yeah, just pretty much the same vocal chain I always use, but I've got a couple of other things going on. So the EQ there, Stress and Nuke, I've been loving this. It's just a fantastic, like super fast, super in-your-face compressor. Sounds great. De-essing, probably should have taken this off to make it sound a bit worse, but no. Head crusher free, I'm just cutting the highs by a fair bit, driving it a bit more. And I've got the Epic plate here just to add some like over-the-top, super obvious reverb, which is, I think is kind of a trait of black metal. This is how the vocals sound. So yeah, I was listening to a bit of Mayhem, and the guy on that big album they have, I don't know the name of it, but yeah, pretty absurd vocals, but you know, good fun. I mean, those guys, they all like take the music like pretty seriously, but I can't take it seriously. They'll probably come and try and kill me now. And the drums, I mean, what else was I gonna use? It had to be Cult drums too, like, come on. And then I'm using the Norwegian Chicken Shack preset, which is like basically one of the worst sounding. It's like basically just, you know, put a microphone in a room and recorded the drums. That's kind of what it sounds like. But the cymbals were, you know, a little bit loud, so I just took all the high end like off the crashes and off all the cymbals, except for the splash there. But you know, just to make it sound more lo-fi. And I just got the compressor on there. God knows why I've got the compressor on, but you know, old habits die hard. So I'll just let you hear it. Just like terrible. Right, the bass is probably the best sounding thing in the mix. BOD, what I usually do, I probably raise the mids slightly. It's probably not as scooped. And a compressor. This is how that sounds. So it actually sounds all right. So I did want the bass to kind of be at least a little bit powerful. Like that was the point there. And you put everything together and it just sounds terrible. On the master track, I did do something different as well. But I've got it in mono there. So this is all the same, all this mastering stuff's the same. If you want to know about that, I'll link my mastering video below. And I'm using Barrier again on the masters. This is covering the entire bus. And I'm driving it just till it like breaks up and distorts. But I've got it mixed in parallel, so this isn't 100% wet, it's 46% wet. And yeah, just sort of just puts this distortion all over the mix. It just makes it sound bad. So that's about it, guys. I just wanted to have some fun and make something absurd. And it's Halloween. You know, let's make some spooky music. What do you think, guys? Are you a black metal fan, or do you think it's a bit rubbish? If this was at all helpful to you guys, you know, leave a comment below. I'm sure most of you guys are not interested in this, but I had fun, and that's the main thing. Check out True Black Metal Tones from Loudstack, link below. Ron is the absolute legend. And RIP to Ugratone. It's a real shame. Like, I love their drum kits. I love all their kits. I think they're fantastic. On my EPs, I've been using them sort of the whole time, the past 4 or 5 years. And yeah, Ugratone calling it quits, so they're probably gone by the end of this year. So like, pick up their kits, dudes. Like, it's all world-class stuff. Enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see more metal-related stuff. I'll be back sometime with a video on something else. So until then, ciao.